So greetings from Pennsylvania once again, and welcome back to another video. We are back here in Weiser State Forest, the Roaring Creek track. We've been here a couple times. The last time we were here, we found something called the Fossil Pit. But remember, in that video, I had parked the wrong spot. Right out here is Route 54. I'll show you in a moment. But I had found a spot further down that I thought was this spot, but it wasn't. But we made it work in the end anyway. But here is the correct parking area. There's a gate right here that you go through. They got some signs for Weiser State Forest. That noisy highway there, that's Route 54. And just up here is the town of Natalie. Yeah, when I come here last time, there was a parking area further down that I thought was this spot, but it wasn't. But it all worked out in the end. We found the place we were looking for, the Fossil Pit, in that video. And I always wanted to come back. I kind of ran out of time in that video because I spent so much time trying to figure out where I was because I was at the wrong spot, and I finally got up here. But today we're at the correct spot. We're going to go back to the Fossil Pit. I always wanted to come back and check it out. Not too long ago, actually last weekend, I drove past here on my way up to the cabin, my family's cabin up in Tioga County, and I was reminded that I want to stop in here again. So let's quit yapping and get to hiking. So things seem to have changed here a little bit. I always thought I was in the wrong spot again. There used to be some old, huge, like, shovels up here, like from the big machines. We're in coal country, but they're not there anymore. Unless they were up the trail here further. I guess they removed them. They're pretty cool looking. But I think there is another one out here that we'll see. Yeah, but this is coal country, so there's all kinds of coal mining ruins out here. Explored back here several times already. But they did a lot of strip mining back here, and that's what the Fossil Pit trails. It goes through one of these big, huge, scars in the earth. You can find some fossils in there. And in that video where I did find the Fossil Pit trail, I remember it was cold that day too. It was really cold down the pit. I think we found a few fossils, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to look. I wasted so much time trying to find it because I parked at the wrong spot, like I said. So, spend a little more time there. It's almost 12 o'clock, so I got a couple hours. Shouldn't be that too far to walk down. I do have some maps with me. There's a big mountain biking area, so there are some trails online. There's a map online of the trails. I'll show you the maps in a little bit. There's a website. You can look at the official maps from Weiser State Forest, but they are not that great. At least back when I was here last time, they were not that helpful. But there's some better ones from another website that someone had told me about, a viewer, that were really helpful. I'll show these to you later though. And speaking of those mountain bike paths, they're all over the place. They're labeled beautifully. This one's called the Coal Path Trail. Heads off that way. We're on what's called Black Road. You have these beautiful posts. It's kind of, there's one of the biking paths. It's kind of interesting. These mountain bike trails are labeled better than many trails in our other state forests or state parks even. All of our trails should be labeled that well, that nicely. Everywhere there's little scars in the earth from mining activity. Yeah, all along here there's piles of waste material. Like that right there, that's not natural. I think there's a trench. Let me just quick show you. Let's go through here. This is an awesome place to come exploring. Yeah, all these piles are not natural. Including this big one right next to us here. There's a big trench right up here. Not the one we're looking for, but still. Yeah, well, there's a trail along here. But yeah, it's one of these trenches they dug into the earth to dig out the coal. These are fun to explore, and just I feel like I may have been in this one before, but just look for artifacts and fossils and things. But yeah, maybe we'll just follow this. We're just kind of paralleling the main road there, but let's just go this way for now. Looks like there's a trail on the other side too. I'm back on the old road again, but even just on the old road, there's fossils. I mean, that's what these are right here. Some little seashell, probably hard to tell, but there's some seashell fossils right there. Cool. Just right here on the road. Anyway, I'll leave those here. We'll keep going. Alright, so after just about under half an hour of hiking, we're closing in. Of course, we're on Black Road, but that says, the other one here says Upper Canyon Trail. So that would take us to the fossil pit, but I want to come in from the fossil pit from the upper end of it. So we're going to continue up here just a little bit more. I think one of those big old huge shovels they used up here, they used out here, might be up here too if I remember. Even over here you can see some of the more exposed piles of waste coal. So I'm going to take a quick side trail here. I don't think this is the one I want, but I think we can see our pit up here. The big one, at least a glimpse of it. Yeah, if you can see through the trees a little bit, there's some brownish color showing. We're headed down there. Actually, there's a trail right here. Let's just take this. All right, here's an even better look at it. You can see how, whoa, it just drops off right here. That's where we're headed. Huge, huge chasm. And up there's the other side of it. Just huge, long scar in the earth. So, if I remember correctly, there's a trail up here, something that leads down in there. Whoops. The main road we're walking on is just over there. Got our smaller fossil pit on our right side. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Here's another view of it, kind of going more lengthwise. It just goes on. But yeah, looks like there could be fossils around the edge, but I don't want to end up down there that way. But yeah, we'll be down there soon enough. The right way. Or the safe way, I should say. Alright, we are on the trail heading down into the fossil pit now. Or the big trench. You can see some of the sides there. We're heading down in. Over there's the other side walls. Awesome place. Just looking, scanning the rock, some fossils too. Alright, I think I want to keep going down. So this looks like good fossil rock, but I'm not seeing anything. Looks like people come here too, like splitting some of these rocks up looking for the same thing. But yeah. But let's keep going down. There's a lot more to see when you're down at the bottom. Just super awesome down there. Alright. Alright, well just after I said that to you, let's go down. I did look down here. Here are some fossils. Some basic plant fossils, some stems and stuff right here. Right there. You can see a bunch of them. Nothing super cool. But yeah, there's more like plant stems and stuff over here. But yeah. There are definitely fossils here. That is awesome. Alright, we are down in the pit now. We're at this end it's not as deep. As we go further on it gets deeper. You see all the rocks tumbling down. It's where we are standing now. There used to be a vein of coal. Speaking of which, here's some coal, some low quality coal. Yeah, there would have been coal. We'd be underground, like in a coal vein, not too far from the surface. They would have used some big not steam shovels, some big old equipment to dig the top layers off and get to the coal down here where we are right now. But yeah, wow. Big, huge boulders come tumbling down. Not sure why there's a wash basin, but anyway. So any of these could have fossils on, where they've broken off and stuff. Further up it gets more open, you can see all the higher up sides and stuff. And up here it's going to get deeper. There's a whole nother, it drops down a whole nother level. You can see right here it kind of goes and it goes whoosh. Yeah, wow. It's almost too many rocks to look at. Just kind of scanning them, looking for areas for, like over here, look like I might be able to find some fossils. All this like shale type rock coming down. So in here's another plant stem. Oh, there's a piece of, oh, there's some ferns over here. Okay, cool. Look around. Yeah, here's a pretty decent looking, some kind of a plant stem going across. You see it branches off there, but then, oh wow. Hold on, let me get situated here. So right here is a beautiful fern fossil. Let me zoom in on that for you. Super, oh, there we go. Super clear looking. Look at that. That is beautiful. Just a little piece of one there. Some other types of, there's a fossil right there. A few like little leaves in here. That's cool. Just leave this one here. I have a lot of fern fossils at home. But yeah, so definitely are fossils in these piles. I literally have bins of fossils at home, which is cool because I share with my students. A nice piece of coal, but I'm not saying I wouldn't take one home. It'd have to be something really neat that I don't have and small enough that I can fit my backpack there. Actually, I'm not sure what the status is, if you can take things home here or not, but anyway, I want to keep that in mind too if you come here. I'm going to show you, there's a really nice piece of coal right there. And it was just coal, but that is a super nice, shiny piece right there. Look at that. That's what they're digging, looking for here. Nice piece of coal. Just looking for a few more fossils. I mean, every rock could potentially have fossils on it. But yeah. And there's a section here where almost every piece has some kind of fossil. Like there's plant fragments there. This one has all kinds of plant stems, things. A lot of these do. And we'll make our way up a little bit here carefully. Yeah, just a lot more pieces with those little plant fragments on, but we'll head back down. Yeah, you can see we were way up there earlier, but yeah, this stuff's just real loose to walk on. Yeah, so far the trail is staying up here, kind of this upper part of the canyon, I guess you'd call it, but I forget if we go down there or not, the trail-wise. I kind of want to go down there regardless. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. I was here like a year or so ago. I was here. I think like it does drop down further. Then maybe we'll come up, explore up this way a little bit. We'll see. So I just turned the camera off a moment ago and check this out right here. I'm trying to remember if I remember seeing this last time I was here, but there's a huge fossil right here on this rock. Let me get so we're not in this shading it out, but yeah, if you can see it already. Sunlight's a little bit difficult to see. Let me rearrange myself. Hopefully you can see that with where the sunlight is, but this is a tree right here. Goes all the way down there. This is tree bark right here. That is amazing. Super cool. Yeah, you don't even have to leave the trail to see fossils. You can go looking up there too, but some are just right on the trail. This is awesome. Oh yeah, look at this up here. This trail's going up here, one down there. Yeah, this is, oh, like this is a tree, this is tree bark right here. It's the way it's curved slightly. Wow. All kinds, oh, check that out. There's a fossil right there. A leaf of some sort. Look at that. That is neat. These are super fragile pieces though. If you wondered if there were fossils on the fossil trail, there most definitely are. Just looking all up there, I can see even fossils that are still, how you say, in situ. At least I can zoom in, like right there. Those are fossils. See those? There's almost like stripes. Those are plant fossils in there. Yeah. Wow. Just super cool. Yeah, just even right here, right in the wall yet. These are tree fossils right here. You can see the bark. The little ridges on the bark. There's one here, one here. It's like layers of them. Here's our layer going underneath. You can almost pick this up. Oh, you know, it's pretty loose, but yeah. Wow. Yeah, this place is awesome. I think when I walked through here last time, it was early spring. I think it might still have been a little snow down here, but it was cold. So I remember I didn't like stay too long and look for fossils. It was kind of chilly. But yeah, I think I found one or two when I was here that one time. But man, there's a lot here. Definitely earns the name, deserves the name Fossil Pit. Yeah, so I'm looking at this wall right here. This is super amazing. I'm seeing some really awesome tree bark down there. I think it's what they call the lepidodendron. I'm seeing more just across. Let me see if I can get up here. A lot of these are trees. I don't know if you can see that. Like this whole thing here. This is a tree. You see all the ridges in the bark. This is fascinating. We'll go up here carefully. I'm gonna try and zoom in right there. It's gonna look like alligator skin or snake skin. You can see like the little, look at that pattern. You know, that's not natural rock, that's a tree. That's tree bark. That lepidodendron tree. And there's some up above it too with the same pattern. Yeah, that's awesome. So this is like a wall of trees here. But there's one right down there that looks really neat, has really cool looking bark. That's what this, yeah. Just walls of trees. Amazing. If there's another one of those lepidodendron or scale trees they call them sometimes. Look at that bark. That's not a giant, you know, python or something. That's tree bark. These heavy guys sit down there. I mean, this one tree pattern is, I can't even reach to the top of it. I mean, this is all a tree going this way. The tree bark. That is amazing. Trees going all the way across there. I don't remember seeing all this last time. This is just like super, super awesome. Wow. And right here off this side is a really good example of one of those scale trees. Up close look at the bark. See, here's more of that pattern. Almost like alligator skin pattern. Just layers upon layers of them. Wow. It's just wow, yeah. Even up here, just underneath, you can see it right there. It's underneath this thin layer right here. Underneath is more of that scaled bark tree. All right. Cool. So the only other place I've seen that has trees like this, like in situ, right on the wall like this, is a place in Lebanon County, State Game Lands number 211, where you can find like those scale trees like in the wall. I don't remember seeing trees quite this big at that spot, but wow. I mean, that's what coal is. Coal is just compressed plant material. So it makes sense that you'll find the uncoalified layers above and below the coal. So yeah, most of that coal, remember where they dug out this coal seam that would have been on top of this wall. That makes sense. The layer up top was coal, above this seam. That's what they dug out, but that's what turned into coal. And these are the trees that didn't quite turn into coal, but they got fossilized. If that makes sense. Coal is formed like under extreme pressure and stuff. All right. Even now the question remains, will I leave this spot? Wow. All right. I think we'll make our way back down to the trail. Yeah, just got down from looking up at those tree fossils, and there's this cool, I get the right angle here, this rock. There's little crystals in here. I don't know if the camera, they're kind of shining in the light a little bit. These are like little crystals. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know if they're sparkling on camera, but oops, blurring out. Maybe I can see them sparkling on there. That's neat. Yeah, the PA Creek walker, Emily, she would like these rocks and fossils. All right, Emily, you need to come here sometime if you're watching. Yeah, amazing spot. All right. Yeah, sorry if you're looking at a fossil. Just here, look. Here's more very distinctive, tree fossils. There's one right there. That's what all this is, pretty much. Different layers of trees. Oh yeah. So I mean, like here's one of those scale trees right there. That alligator pattern to the skin, to the bark. Going that way. Wow. Phew. Alright, I am slowly pulling myself away from this spot. Looks like our trail does drop down here. I'm trying to pull myself away. Yeah, just so much to see here. This place is amazing. More than what I remember. Yeah, I'm trying to head down that way, but I mean, like I said, I keep pulling out these tree fossils. There's a tree fossil. There's the bark. Here's another sheet of bark. There's another piece. Walk up here again. I know I'm trying to leave the wall here, but oh, thorns. Ouch! Hold on a second. But even the thorns won't stop me, because there's another one of those scale trees right there. Just, they're everywhere. They have a distinctive pattern. All right, I'm leaving. We're heading down the trail. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's more fossils in that rock. Just loads of them. Yeah, wow. All right. Into here. Yeah, so our trail never does quite drop down into that level. We might go down in there. If I remember correctly, that's kind of the end of the real fossil-y areas back there. But let's go explore this way since we're here. It's easy enough to get down there. Let's have a look down that way. Yeah, so we're now down in the very bottom of this trench. Where we were earlier is just up there. Can't really see the tops of either side anymore. Oh, here's some old artifact. Looks like an old oil filter. Yes, now we're off trail. Not sure how many people come down here. Yeah, here's another rock with these little crystals on. Let me zoom in. I'm not sure if they're sparkling on camera, but when the sunlight hits them, they sparkle quite a bit. Yeah, these are all little tiny crystals. Cool. And over here we can drop down even further. See all kinds of coal material here. I'm not sure if I'll go down there or not. Maybe we'll check it out. Because it looks like it kind of ends up there just ways. Wow. Yeah, still just looking around. But once again up there, you can see through the trees. That's where all those tree fossils were. But I see a spot up there that looks interesting. I think I'm going to make my way up there to that side. And you could spend all day here literally just exploring. Yeah, let's try to make our way up to that spot up there. Alright, we've made it over here. And guess what we find? More tree fossils. Going all the way down. There's one going all the way down. Make our way over here. Yeah. This is interesting here. It's like a nodule of rock that's different than all the others, and there's like this dark, like black sand material in there. It glitters a little bit. That is pretty cool. Yeah. See that in there. Yeah, right over there was that nodule I was just looking at. Very different material than this stuff, but this is just sheets of plant material. You know, the shading's kind of off here, but yeah, just peel the stuff off. It's just compressed. There's all kinds of plant stems and tree bark. Is all this stuff is. Just layers and layers of it here. Like there's a fern, like there, right there. Oh, I just broke it. Put it back. Like there's a fern fossil right there. Let me zoom on that one. Very faint. You can see it there. Look at that. Beautiful. Super thin though. Let you zoom out. Like, because I broke that piece off. It's just super thin material. So I'm on my way back, but this big thing here, this is a concretion. You see how this peels off, but there's a layer of harder rock here. See how it's got a nice this ovoid shape? A lot of times there's something in the middle of these. I don't have anything to break it open with today, but yeah, they call them concretions. Because there's usually something organic in nature that the material concreted around it. Actually, right here's some fossils. There's a fossil tree. There's something right there. That might be a concretion that broke open over there. Let's get over there. Not sure what this is, but those look more crystal stuff in the middle there. That's not a concretion though. Alright, I'm going to find a spot here to take a little break and get on going. Yeah, just super peaceful down here at my little break spot here. Yeah, but it's a fossil paradise down here. I guess I failed to say we are up like on a mountain here. Like this mountain is just made of like layers of like trees, basically. Yeah, if you do come here, just please be respectful. You don't have to, like I've seen no spray paint, which is amazing. You don't have to like come here and just destroy the fossils that you see. Some of them are very fragile out on the walls. I mean, they'll eventually crumble anyway due to the weather, but you don't have to come here and be, you know, a jerk. You know what I'm saying? All right, but we'll in a little bit here we're gonna get going. Still down here in this deeper part, off trail, but we'll make it up to the trail in a moment and keep on going, keep on exploring. I'm not sure if I'll go back to the dirt road or just explore some of the other trails. We'll see. It's almost, I've been down here for a little while. Yeah, it's past 1:30 now. All right, we'll figure it out. Farewell, little break spot down here in the bottom of this pit, basically. We'll start heading this way. Now, our trail, the trail we came down on is right up there and went that way. So we had come down here, so we're gonna head back there. Back to the trail. A little bit easier walking. So slowly coming out of this trench. Oh, I mean, even over there's a rock wall. Oh, come on, let's go. We gotta check it out. Look like other people have been going up here. So we're not as far down anymore. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any tree fossils on this one so much. All right. I think up on this pile of coal waste is where I took a break last time I was here. Oh, the Coal Chute Trail is what this is. But yeah, you could go back down in there again. Looks like you could go that way, but I think we're gonna stay going this way. Yeah, I think I sat right up here somewhere for my break. Got some old metal up there. All right, but let's keep going. Oosh, looks like we can go down again. Whoa, these are mountain bike trails, remember, too, so if you're like mountain biking, whoosh, down you go. This might be, I know there's another trail around here called the Furnace Pit Trail. I'm not sure if we're in that one yet, or if this is just an extension of the Fossil Pit Trail, but haven't looked at the map for a while. Alright, now turn you off of this. Maybe as you can see, we're down here in another trench, bottom of one. I mean, there's a lot of neat features up here to explore. I've been on some of the other trails up here too. It's just fascinating landscape. And once again, we're in an area where there was a layer of coal down here in the ground. Probably, I mean, lay in this direction. Somehow they dug it all out to get to it and left this trench behind. This trench is not a natural feature once again. Well, this rock doesn't look quite as fossily as the other stuff did. That's the way it is sometimes. We have a fork in the trail. There's a little, very used path that goes that way, but I think that just takes us back to that dirt road we were on, where we could go up here. It looks like there might be another pit down there. I just see an old bucket there, but let's see what's up here. Like, so there's trails all over the place here. Oh, not a pit, just another, just kind of a grassy trail here. Let's take it. Was called the Old Mines Trail. What we were on was called the Coal Chute Trail. I know this Old Mine Trail does take us back to the road, but doesn't. I won't get lost up here. I know the old road is off to my left, so. Well, this is odd. I was trying to figure out what in the world is this. Looks like a porcupine's been chewing on it. The Gnome of Natalie, that's the town. It has been written that if one touches their thumb on, what's that called? Catechus, the spirits of either St. John or St. Peter, the patriarchs of the mountain, will lend help if they are ever in need or peril. Okay, interesting. There's something on the other side here too. Not sure what that is. Alright. Friends of Roaring Creek. Warning. There's a warning on this side. It's been written that if anyone whoever damages or steals the whatever his name is, will be forever lost, wherever lost out the mountain, never to be found. Okay. We'll just leave the gnome alone. I'm not going to touch it or destroy it. Alright, let's just go this way. Beats taking the road all the way back. Some of these trails I've been on before, but I'm not going to film a whole lot, because the main point of this video was the fossils and the fossil pit trail. But if I come across something interesting, I'll share it with you. But I'm just going to head this way. I know there's another big trench up here called the Furnace Pit. I should look at my map maybe. Anyway, a little more shaded in here than the road too. Yeah, I definitely need to come back and explore some more. More in the autumn, maybe the winter time. Just so much to explore. There's so much to see from the trails, but there's a lot more if you just go off trail too. But anyway, gotta keep that in mind. Along with everything else I'm trying to keep in mind too. Alright, so here lots of traffic noise, so our highway is just up here. We're on the Fern the Fern Gully Trail. So this, oh, right there's a solar panel, so yeah, the parking lot is like right over there. And right here should be the old road. Yeah, and right up here is the parking lot then. That'll be it then, folks. Thanks for coming along with me on this video. Found so many cool fossils. Had a lot of fun. Definitely need to come back and do more exploring here. It's all public land back there, Weiser State Forest, so found some interesting things there in the past. So, alright, I'm gonna head home. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and hopefully we see you on the next one.